Hey Most Amazing Top 10 family, I'm your host Shade Arena and welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. Here we are again looking at all the creepy crawly things that come out of the Bible and trying to ruin your life. Demons are like that friend who asked you for 40 bucks and then never paid you back and then also secretly eats babies for lunch. There is literally nothing good about a demon unless you consider having an immense level of power at the expense of other people a good thing, which I'm sure some of you at home watching really do. But I mean, hey, live your life, live your truth. But regardless of your morals, you came here to see me count down today's list of top 10 scary demons from the Bible part 2. And that is what I'm going to do. If you haven't seen part 1, go check that out right now because it is good, baby. And for anyone at home who's looking for some more Most Amazing Top 10 content, you should check us out on Instagram and Facebook because we are doing Facebook exclusive content and you aren't going to want to miss any of that. And stick around for the whole video because I'm going to be doing some more pet shoutouts. You guys know that I shout out the pets and you guys love it. Remember, if you want me to shout out your pet, you can hit me up on Instagram. And without taking any longer, let's get into this list. At number 10 we have Asmodeus. This guy is one of the big wigs in the boiler room down under. If you were to venture down into hell, you would see this guy's name posted on everything. He is one of the 7 princes of hell. You don't get that title from just sitting on your butt all day. This guy is a workhorse. He is said to represent one of the 7 deadly sins known as each one of the princes do. The sin that this guy is in charge of is lust. So every time you type something questionable and sexual into your Google browser, well, it's this guy's fault. He wants everyone in the world to be sexual deviants and only think of weird sex stuff all day long. He's been depicted in a lot of different ways, and his ability to change his shape, which he'll mostly use to try and seduce people, no surprise, but one of my favorite forms is of him with a human torso and a human head, and then on one side he has a goat head, on the other side he has a cow head, and then on his base is like this dragon looking thing. This guy looks like the last boss in a Final Fantasy game. At number 9 we have Agares. Agares is by far one of my favorite demons ever because they are very powerful and also hilariously rude. He or she, depending on how Agares represents themselves, has some pretty immense power. They can shake the earth with earthquakes and has an army of demons at their beck and call at any time. Agares has knowledge of any known language and can teach them to you, but will only teach you how to swear in each one of these languages, which is so funny, one of the best pranks I've ever heard of. What a beautiful way to use your infinite knowledge. Also, if Agares appears before you, they will be riding an alligator. That is amazing. 10 out of 10. I love this dude. At number 8 we have Aquile. This guy has one mission and one mission only: to destroy the holy day known as the Sabbath. You know how you like to spend all Sunday just hanging out, not doing anything, usually watching so much trash TV and eating so much junk that you question whether or not you're a functioning member of society? Well, this dude would like to take that and change the holy day of rest and make it into a day where you don't get to rest at all, where you would have to work and do stuff. Are you kidding me? That sounds awful. If anything, we need like 3 more Sabbath days. We need to bring in all the robots, so only have to work 1 day a week. That's what I want. Alright, at number 7 we have Bilal. Now there is a lot of interpretations of this guy. In some texts it would seem that he is the devil himself. Not a bad gig. I'm sure it comes with a lot of perks and a ton of benefits. But there are other depictions where he isn't Lucifer himself, but he is the right-hand man of the Prince of Darkness. The guy you would send out to make trouble and probably trick people into a fiddle competition or something like that. One of Bilal's more famous stories is of him as a woodcutter who would trick people so he could steal money, time, and even goods from them. Throughout most of the Hebrew and Christian texts, Bilal's name is synonymous with worthless. That is pretty harsh, but that's what you get when you are a bad dude. If you want people to be nice to you, you should be nice to people. At number 6 we have Incubus. So on the last list we had a succubus. That's a lady demon that will come into your bed and touch you in your no-no place and steal your life force. Well, an incubus is basically just the male version of this, doing the same thing but preying on women. They look for sleeping women and try to tempt them with sexual things, probably like an F-boy. I wouldn't be surprised if an incubus slid into your DMs and was like, "You up?" But unlike most players on the scene, this guy will text you back, and don't let that tempt you. It's not because he's nice, it's because once people find out you're a soul-sucking demon, they don't really want to hang out with you anymore, so he'll try to get anything he can. Well, just like a succubus, an incubus's goal is to visit you again and again, because even though they may seem sexy and have pectorals so firm you could raise a family on them, they are going to be sucking out your life force every time they visit you. You will slowly see your body degrade until you become weaker, and then one day you just straight up die. I'm starting to think that an incubus and a succubus are just metaphors for what happens when you date a loser. At number 5 we have Surget. This demon has to have one of the best superpowers that you don't usually see come up in comics. He has the ability to open all locks. So you know that super long complex password you have on your computer so no one can look at your search history? Well, this dude already knows the password and he's looking through all the weird stuff that you like right now. Honestly, he probably likes it because he's a demon. There isn't too much that has been written about Surget. He's kind of in the background the whole time, but in some faiths it's believed that he brought the concept of the lock to humans as a way to make them more greedy by locking away their goods. At number 4 we have Devos. I think if I just say it like with a weird accent it just sounds more correct. When your name is synonymous with destruction and terror, you know you have been up to no good. No one is gonna name their baby Devos anytime soon, just like how you don't see little Adolfs running around. Imagine being so awful you ruin a name, and like in Hitler's case you also ruin a mustache. Devos has sometimes been seen as a protector of the underworld, so if you wanted to fight your way into hell for whatever reason, then you would have to pass a literal god of destruction. He has a power to control nature, mainly anything to do with the force, so he could summon an army of Ents to come after you and then rip your body into shreds. That doesn't sound like a fun Friday night if you ask me. At number 3 we have Mammon. You know when you're playing Monopoly and then you get this urge to steal from all your friends and watch their lives fall into poverty as you become rich and live out your plastic hotel dreams? Well, that could be because this dude has been whispering in your ear and trying to get you to be a greedy little baby. Mammon is one of the 7 princes of hell and he is in charge of the deadly sin greed. It's said that he has an endless amount of wealth which he adds to by getting humans to do his bidding. He will find those who have weak wills and crave material wealth, and he will trick them into doing things that give him more money. Whatever you do for this guy, he always takes 15%. Think of him as a big dragon sitting on a pile of gold. He is literally the greediest thing that has ever existed. He has been depicted in many different ways, usually as an older man, but sometimes as a large cloaked creature with a vulture's head. Which makes sense, this guy would be a scavenger preying on the weak for more money. But my favorite depiction of him is the one that I have here from DC Comics. This dude has gold earrings, gold chains, and gold nipple rings. You know you hit a new level of wealth when you have gold coming out of your nipples. At number 2 we have Beelzebub. This has to be the best named demon of all time. Beelzebub is just so fun to say. I would name my pet Beelzebub if I wasn't worried about the devil actually getting into the animal soul and then having a whole Cujo situation. I wouldn't even be able to put him down, I just love dogs too much. But it makes sense that Beelzebub is making me want to steal his name because he is the demon that represents the deadly sin envy. When you're good at your job, you gotta get recognized, even when your job is temptation. Beelzebub is considered one of the most powerful demons in all of hell. He's in charge of every single demon under him. Even some of the other princes answer to this guy. There is even a story in which Beelzebub led a revolution against the devil himself and was able to overcome the king of the underworld. What does a revolution in hell even look like? What do you guys fight for? Like, we want the lake of lava turned down a few degrees, it's too hot. That's the point. And for the number 1 spot we have Satan. I left him off of the part 1 list because I thought it was a little too on the nose, but if you're gonna put the devil on a list of demons that are the best demon from the Bible or the scariest demons, then he's gotta be the number 1 spot. So who is the boogeyman who loves the world of fire and brimstone? Well, he has been depicted in all sorts of film and television as this big evil dude, but the Bible has told us that Satan actually started as one of God's best angels and his name was Lucifer. He was the best and brightest, the most handsome. Every angel wanted to be like him, and I guess he let this get to his head because he challenged God for his spot at the top of the mountain. And God, being God, doesn't tend to put up with people trying to take the spotlight from him, so he kicked his top dog out of heaven and casted him down to earth. Now Lucifer hated God, and because of this he had an immense hatred for all of God's favorite playthings, human beings. So he was like, I'll ruin all of these little dudes by tempting them with stuff that God doesn't like, and they will forever be in a struggle between good and evil. I will suck their souls into my world, which will be way cooler than heaven. It'll have a slide and mini donuts, and everyone's gonna think I'm the popular one. Alright everyone, that has been our list, and as promised I'm gonna do some pet shoutouts. Remember, if you want me to shout out your pet, you can hit me up on Instagram. I pick new pets every day, so if you don't get picked one day, message back another day. If it takes me a little while to get back to you, I am very sorry, because I got a lot of these to do, and without taking any longer, let's shout out some pets. To start off this list, we have Tiberius and Jay. These two are a handful in the best way. I can tell they seem like troublemakers. Then we have Ted, who is the king of floof. Respect his reign, he is powerful and true. Look how much floof is on that duck. It's crazy. He's so floofy. After that, we have Loki and Leo. This is a duo I can support. These two are awesome. I love them so much. Next, we have this little orange boy, Ginny, who just had their first birthday. Oh my god, they're a year old. Oh, happy birthday, Ginny. Following that, we have a good boy in a shirt. Look at his style. Respect the drip. And to end off, we have the cat Brooklyn, who is very squished. Look how squished she is. She's squish. She's squished very much. Very much squish. Anyways, guys, that has been our list. Thank you all so much for tuning in. As always, I would love it if you could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. Until next time, I've been your host, Shade. I don't know, try to not mess with demons. I have no advice for you on this one. Beelzebub's a great name. Name your dog that and send me a picture. Bye.